All right. Are you recording? Yellow. You recorded? What was it? Whoa, 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 whoa. You know what's the most powerful asset that every single one of us humans have? Not the animals, but the humans. It's that we have this power of imagination. You know, SpongeBob was right, bro. He was talking about how you can create anything using your imagination. And that truly was right. He was right the entire time because think about it. If I just take away my hand, right? Take away my hand. Am I still Muhammad? Yeah, I'm still Muhammad, just without a hand. If I take away my head, is the head Muhammad or the body Muhammad? We don't even know. So the only difference between, you could say it's like me and all the other animals that we have all around this world, and even the trees actually, is that we have imagination. Animals, you really think animals have imagination? Like they can just sit down and then they can visualize things? No, they can't just sit down and visualize things. So us humans, we actually have the ability to visualize things. And just this power alone is extremely powerful because think about it. You can take away everything that you have, everything. Like, for example, you can lose the house, you can lose, not the wife, bro, because anyway, you can lose everything, right? But as long as you have this power of imagination, you can create things once again. But here's the thing. A lot of you guys that are Muslim, you're going to be saying things like, we don't create things. It's Allah that creates things. And that's true. That's true. But the thing is that when you get beyond the mind, and this is what I talk about most of the time, when you get beyond the mind, and then you can just be nothing, become silent, then you can basically let the will of Allah flow through you. And then once this will of Allah flows through you, that's when you can use your mind to imagine things, visualize things, and as a result, things will come. And listen, the only reason why I'm here in this beautiful forest right now, this is a different forest, by the way, not the same forest that I was in before. But the only reason why I'm here is just because I was actually getting spring water. But also, because look at this beauty. Look at this water that's flowing right here. You see this water that's flowing right here? You see the nature that's all the way there? Like this entire forest is beautiful, right? But then when you look at all these things, when you look at all the nature that Allah has built, nature is in a state of stillness. It's in a state of Islam, of surrender. They surrender to the will of Allah. Like this water, the one that's moving it is Allah. Because Allah is the one that's allowing the molecules just flow and then just move. If Allah wills, He can stop everything. Literally just stop everything. But the fact that these things, all these, you could say the cells within everything here, it's still submitting to the will of Allah. It shows that like they're submitting, which means most of us humans, we don't usually submit to the will of Allah because we go through stress, anxiety, and all these things, and then we start overthinking. And because you're overthinking, you're not submitting to the will of Allah. Like, is your body relaxed? Right now, as you're watching me, is your body relaxed? The forehead, is it relaxed? The shoulders, are they relaxed? Once you relax everything, and then you relax the mind, and then you get into a state of no thought, like the water, the trees, these beings are in a state of no thought. Which means, if you're in this area, and you're just sitting and you're just bathing, you're marinating with all the creation of Allah, then you can get into the same state as this other creation that Allah has created. That's why Allah says like travel around and think of the heavens and the skies and the earth. Think of all these things, because then when you're getting the same vibration as these things, you basically you'd be able to use this visualization method power that you have and then visualize the beautiful things that you want in the world. That's why, listen, a lot of people, they say I can't even visualize things, bro. I can't even imagine my life into a better place because you're just sitting down in a room surrounded by 4 walls. These 4 walls are not, like they're not in the raw state. The trees are in a raw state. Water is in a raw state. So when you get back to the raw state, the state of Islam, where everything is just submitting to the will of Allah, that's when you can use this visualization method, technique, power that you have and visualize the life that you want. So here's the thing, bro. When you surround yourself in nature, and then you go back home, and then you just sit down and you meditate, and you just think, you imagine the world that you want, most likely, the world that you want starts happening. It starts getting created by Allah. Not you, but by Allah. But you have to be the one that plants the seeds, bro. You guys are not planting the seeds. Most of you guys are planting other seeds to create like depression, anxiety, and all that stuff, and that's why you have like a sad life. But then when you actually imagine the life that you want, imagine it, and then you just sit down through like visualize even more. For example, are you okay? Are you okay? So once again, here's the thing. Surround yourself in nature. Surround yourself in nature. And then go back home. Go back home and just sit down and just visualize the things that you want. The things that you want. And then the beauty of it is that Allah by Himself is going to start creating scenarios in your life where when you submit once again to the scenarios that come in the present moment and you act on them, like the inspiration that comes in your heart, when you act on it, then somehow miraculously, the things that you want starts happening just like that. And don't even think stuff like for example, if you want a beautiful house, and then you're just imagining yourself in the beautiful house, and then you're like, no, I can't afford that beautiful house. That's the thing. Who's saying I can't afford it? Because whatever is saying I can't afford it is the thing inside you that's not in the state of Islam. Because Allah Himself is abundance, right? So Allah's not going to be putting thoughts in your mind that give you negativity or weakness. Because that's not who Allah is. Allah is the most powerful, the most beautiful, the most merciful. So you shouldn't, when you're getting these thoughts of like, I can't afford it, or it's too hard, I'm too weak, that's because you're not in a state of Islam. So then when you come here, surrounded by the beautiful creation of Allah, you learn to become in a state of Islam because everything else is in a state of Islam. So when you are in a state of Islam, and then you visualize the things that you want, the beautiful things that you want. For example, I'll tell you one thing, bro. Back in the day when I was not married, when I had no one to hold the camera for me, I used to want to marry this beautiful girl. So I used to make dua. Please, Allah, make me marry this beautiful girl. And then I would try to get into the state of Islam, right? And then randomly, I would get this inspiration in my heart where something would come and tell me, Habibi, go and become friends with this girl's brother. So I'm like, I think that's literally it. So I would try to go and become friends with this girl's brother, and I became with her brother, and eventually things kept happening, and then I got to marry the beautiful girl. But that's the thing. It's like, I used to make dua, but then nothing would happen until I got into the state of submitting to Allah, and then I would visualize myself, my life with this beautiful girl. Then things started happening. Things started coming into my heart, because they're going to come to your heart, by the way, because your heart is the receiver. I would start getting things into my heart, not my mind, but my heart. Once my mind is in a state of stillness, and then it told me, go become friends with her brother. And then as a result, things kept getting unfolded, things started happening, and I kept submitting to the things as they were happening, and that's it. That's literally it. And you can do this with everything, bro. Think about it. Make dua that you want to make $10,000 a month. I used to do that. And I would visualize my life making $10,000 a month. And as a result, inspiration comes to your heart, tells you, go and do such a thing. Go and search on YouTube such a thing. Go and watch such a video. And that gives you the knowledge that you need to go, and you keep acting more and more upon it. Because here's the thing. When you start acting upon the inspiration that comes to your heart, the path unfolds. So you don't even have to be thinking about how is it going to happen. It's not up to you on how is it going to happen. Allah's going to make it happen, not you. All you have to do is just submit in the present moment to the inspiration that Allah gives you. And the only reason why most of you guys can't get that is because you're not in a state of Islam. And you're not in a state of Islam because you're not surrounding yourself with the creation of Allah that is in a state of Islam. Hope that makes sense. I told you the most powerful asset that all of us have is imagination. When you're able to use this imagination, Allah's going to put inspiration in your heart, telling you what to do, and the more you submit, the more the path unfolds, and the faster you get what you want. It's beautiful, bro. This is actually beautiful. And you know what? Hey, there's a bike. You know what? There's a video in the description right now where I showed you for free Quranic secrets that if you do, Allah's going to give you effortless rizq. Do these things. When you do these things, you'll get effortless rizq. Because remember, nature, it does everything effortlessly. It does not use up excess energy, which means that everything that happens is supposed to flow. See how the water is flowing right now? It's flowing effortlessly. And who's doing it? I told you, bro. Allah's the one that's doing it. Which means if you make dua in a state of Islam submission, you'll notice that things are going to start flowing into your life where you get the thing that you want effortlessly. That's how effortless rizq happens. So just watch that video in the description. But I hope this video was helpful, bro. If it was, just let me know.